here, and today I'm gonna be reacting to True Animation. Wait, no, True Animations. So today I'm gonna be watching some Dory Story videos, and yeah, I'm not. So I found this video. I found this video, and it is, allergic to air. It's like kind of impossible, so I don't know if I should believe. Okay, so let's start.
Hi, my name is Ursula and I'm 16. I have an allergy to air. Go ahead and ask how I'm still alive. You won't believe what saved me. Everything started a little more than a year ago. It was an important day. Mum met her new boyfriend Josh. The summer was especially hot and forest fires became more frequent in my state. The city where I lived was covered in smoke. I was riding home on my bike when I suddenly felt that I am unable to breathe. I fell off my bike.
So it's like not really air, but like dirty air.
Coughing started. How would you feel if you unexpectedly started suffocating? I became very afraid. Some strangers ran up to me. It was then I felt that I was unable to speak. My tongue swelled. They called 911 and I was quickly brought to the hospital for analysis. This is how I found out I am allergic to air. How can this be? Air cannot be fully clean. So what I am really allergic to is the impurities in it. I didn't have any bouts of coughing at home because we had a special air cleaner. I had to switch to homeschooling, but when I stopped going to school,
#relatable.
I noticed strange things. Mum's new boyfriend Josh was quite strange. In the mornings, he would leave for work and soon after come back and sit in his room for a long time. What kind of job did he have? He told Mum that he worked as an artist, but sometimes he gave her a lot of expensive presents, at least at the time. My friends occasionally came over, but their stories made me really mad. And though my mum and brother supported me, I became depressed. My condition worsened with each passing day, but then he appeared. Tori. He saved me. You think he was a knight in shining armor? My new boyfriend? No. He is a cute golden retriever. But why did my mum suddenly decide to gift me an old dog? Ends up she and Josh found a special dog for me. The thing is, Tori is trained to give warning about allergic attacks in advance. Imagine that. Before that, I had no idea that dogs were capable of such things. I googled it. The dog really could smell changes in the blood and warn me of an oncoming allergic reaction so that I can take action in advance and avoid one. But such dogs cost a crazy amount of money. I was embarrassed to be in front of my mum. She said she had been saving money for a long time and is happy that these savings will help me. It was so great to hang out with my friends after sitting at home and being sad. I had a special set of medicines I needed to take in case Tori, through his behaviour, were to indicate I would soon have an allergic reaction. Never being apart, Tori became everyone's favourite until a misfortune occurred. That day, Josh took a walk in the park with him, not far from our house, while I was doing homework. He was gone for a long time. When he came back, he was covered in bruises and blood. And without Tori, he said that he was attacked by 3 men and beaten up. They kidnapped Tori and drove away in a minivan. Of course, the dog was very expensive, but who could have kidnapped him? No one knew how expensive he was. We started searching. We told the police and put up signs. I put information up about Tori online, but he wasn't found anywhere. I cried and couldn't calm down. Josh started often disappearing during the evenings. I thought he would be ashamed that he lost Tori. I was so wrong. What I found out put me in a state of shock. I decided to talk with Josh. I came up to the bedroom door and accidentally overheard his phone call. I heard him say, "I will give you all the money back. I already gave you the dog. He is worth half my debt." Which means Josh was the one who stole my Tori. I barely stopped myself from screaming. I couldn't believe it. What if there was a good reason for it? I needed to start following Josh right away. I couldn't leave the house and asked my brother to find out where Josh goes to in the evenings. Ends up he was going to a bar in the centre of the city where he played poker for money. It was a popular place where a bunch of urban criminals, pimps and gamers met up. So we found out Josh was one of them. When we told Mum everything, she yelled at Josh. Of course he didn't admit anything, but Mum believed us and called the police. He was released quite quickly, as we had no evidence other than my witness statement. Josh forever disappeared from our lives, but my Tori was never found. Mum promised to sell her car in order to at least be able to buy me a regular dog. I don't want anyone other than Tori. I still hope someone will find him, as they will surely try to sell him. Maybe one of you will see a dog that looks similar to him, and you could write a comment.
Okay, I don't understand, because like, half of the story is like about her dad, and the title is I'm Allergic to Air. Like, I just don't understand. I'm gonna watch another one. How about, I Eat Myself?
Hi, my name is Kyle. Have you ever been so scared of something that you just couldn't cope? I ate myself. And it isn't a figure of speech. As long as I remember myself, I lived in constant fights. My parents fought every day. They yelled to the point that I, a 15-year-old guy, as I had done in my childhood, hid under the bed. I bit my own fingers and forearms until they bled so as not to scream from anger and powerlessness. My fingers looked like stumps. My lips and inner sides of my cheeks were bleeding and would not heal. And when they hurt too much, I chewed my tongue and my hair. I understood that it was abnormal, but could not stop eating myself. You can't imagine how many times I tried to stop. But this terrible habit was always stronger than me. My life seemed like a nightmarish maze without an exit. But one day, in the midst of darkness, a ray of light appeared. This ray was Miss Green, the school's new psychologist and a very nice person. She came to deal with children and their problems, one of whom was me. We met once a week and spoke, meaning she spoke while I quietly sat and looked at the ground. How I wanted to say just one word. I couldn't. I was scared that as soon as I opened my mouth, she would start yelling, just as it had always been with my parents. One day, Miss Green offered to play a game, to get to know one another better. She asked many questions, and I was supposed to draw the answers. At first, I liked it. Everything went off the rails when Miss Green asked, "What are you scared of, Kyle?" I took a large piece of paper and drew for 2.5 hours. Though for me, it seemed as though not more than 2 minutes went by. All that time, Miss Green closely watched me and wrote down remarks in her notebook. When I showed her my drawing, all she could say is,
disgusting.
"God, Kyle." In the drawing were the eerie shadows of my parents, who I saw every day from under my bed. I'm scared of getting the fear, was the only thing I told her throughout all of our sessions. Miss Green took the drawing with her, saying she wanted to show it to someone. She gifted me a drawing book in which I would draw. Among its pages, there was a note. "Kyle, you're the most courageous person of all." I started carrying this note under my heart. Now, during my parents' fights, I didn't chew on my fingers, but I wrote in my book. It seemed like I wasn't too bad at it. My fingers, cheeks, and forearms finally started healing. I felt normal, and after each session with Miss Green, it became easier. She was so nice and beautiful. One day, I understood that I was in love. I imagined that after finishing school and college, I would come and marry her. But my dreams were destroyed when I saw Miss Green kissing a guy. I was heartbroken. I wanted to scream. Instead, I hid under a bridge. I cried nonstop, bit my fingers, lips, cheeks, and forearms. In my fist, I squeezed the only important things for me, Miss Green's note. That morning, the police found me. I was almost unconscious, and I was taken to the hospital. My parents were already waiting in the ward. As soon as we were alone, they started yelling. "How could you run away from us? Do you even imagine what problems you created?" I couldn't listen to their yelling. I needed to hide, crawl under the hospital bed. But suddenly, I felt something soft in my fist. Miss Green's note.
And it's
This
shiny.
piece of paper filled with strength. Courageous, I whispered. But my parents didn't hear the words. "The most courageous person of all is me, Kyle!" I yelled in such a way that they suddenly became quiet. Mom and Dad looked at me. In their eyes, I saw the same fear that followed me my entire life. "Shut up! Go away! I don't want to see you! I yelled, repeating what they would tell me. Hearing the yelling, the doctor ran into the ward and got my parents out. Miss Green and the guy she had kissed came inside. He ended up being her fiancé and a teacher at one of the country's best art schools. His name was Gary. He told me that the best art critics and artists were amazed by my drawing. I was invited to participate in a contest to receive a scholarship to their school. A month later, I won it. I left my parents and started my studies. It was very hard for me to speak with people, but I already have friends. At the end of the story, I guess there's supposed to be an ending about the fact that I no longer bite my fingers or cheeks. That's not the case. I just can't get rid of this habit. I used to eat myself because of fear. Now I do it when I draw with inspiration. Van Gogh cut off his ear. God help me, I won't bite off my finger at some point.
What?
Thanks for being with me these few minutes. How do you deal with fear? What would you do
How
in my
deal
place?
with fear?
Share your...
I don't know. I probably just bite my nails off. I guess that's enough for today. I'm really bored. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and hit push notifications. And so yeah, bye. What?